Some warning signs of narcissism are obvious: arrogance, ego, manipulation, control. But the most dangerous signs aren't loud. They're almost invisible. That's exactly why most people miss them. The most dangerous narcissists don't seem dangerous at all. They seem perfect. Unmasked psychology. See clearly. Live freely. Most people don't recognize a narcissist until the damage is already done. Today, you'll recognize them before. Here are 7 hidden warning signs narcissists almost always show, long before they affect your self-worth, your energy, or your clarity. Sign 1. They mirror you perfectly. This one shows up in the first days, and at first it feels like a gift. They seem impossibly familiar. Same humor, same values, same dreams. It feels like, finally, someone who truly gets me. But here's what's actually happening. Narcissists use mirroring. They copy your personality, your desires, your language to bond you to them faster. They're not building a real self. They're reflecting yours. That's why they feel so perfect at first, because you're actually meeting yourself. The antidote: if someone understands you perfectly before real closeness has been built, pay attention. Real connection takes time. Mirroring doesn't. But mirroring is just the beginning. In sign 2, they reveal their real strategy. Sign 2. Intense attention. That suddenly drops. The pace feels wrong. It moves much faster than anything healthy should. Narcissists often start with love bombing. Not just in relationships, at work, in friendships, everywhere. They flood you with attention, praise, and interest. But this isn't real affection. It's an investment in control. And then something typical happens. The intensity drops. Abruptly. Without explanation. This is a test. How do you react when they pull away? If you start chasing the connection, you've passed their test. The antidote: ask whether the intensity matches the depth of the connection. Real connection grows slowly. If it feels like a soulmate before you truly know them, be careful. And once you're hooked, they start testing something very specific. Sign 3. They test your boundaries with small cuts. Narcissistic people never cross your boundaries all at once. They test you in micro steps. A dismissive comment, a disrespectful joke, a sarcastic dig, always with the same question underneath. Will you stay quiet? If you don't react, the small cut becomes a knife. The antidote: pay attention to small disrespects. They're not minor, they're the beginning. But the next sign is where they truly give themselves away. Sign 4. They tell perfect victim stories. Narcissists can be remarkably convincing when casting themselves as the victim, the terrible ex, the unfair boss, the jealous friends. Notice the pattern. In every story, they are the only innocent person. No self-reflection, no responsibility, ever. What this really means: they're normalizing a narrative where they're always right, and everyone else is always wrong. And eventually, you'll be the lead character in their next victim story. That's how the cycle works. The antidote: has this person ever admitted to making a mistake? If not, listen closely. And when you start to notice, watch how they react. Sign 5. They cannot handle criticism. Criticism is one of the most honest tests of character. Narcissists can dish it out, but they can't take it. A tiny observation, a gentle question, a neutral comment, and suddenly, drama, defensiveness, rage, or silence. That silence can hurt more than words, because criticism touches their deepest fear, the fear of not being perfect. The antidote: watch how someone responds to small criticism. People who want to grow listen. Narcissists defend. But the 2 most important signs aren't about what they do. They're about what happens to you. If you've been nodding along so far, hit like. It helps others in the same situation find this video. And now, the most subtle signs. Sign 6. Your intuition feels exhausted. This is one of the most subtle signs, and one of the most important. When you spend time with a narcissistic person, something strange happens. You feel drained afterwards, emotionally, mentally, physically, not because something terrible happened, but because you were constantly scanning. What did he mean by that? Was that a joke? Why do I feel off? This quiet state of alertness pulls energy from your nervous system. Your nervous system is more honest than anyone in the room. Your body notices the pattern long before your mind catches up. The antidote. After every interaction, ask yourself, do I feel energized or drained? Your body doesn't lie. And when your energy is drained, there's one final sign that confirms everything. And now, the most subtle warning sign. The one almost no one consciously recognizes. Sign 7. They create a feeling of confusion. Covert narcissists often create micro-confusion, small contradictions, subtle mood shifts, vague statements that can't be verified. And suddenly you notice, you're justifying yourself more often. You're explaining things that should be clear, or you're apologizing for feelings that are completely normal. This isn't random, it's a pattern. Confusion is control, and clarity is power. The less clear you are, the easier you are to steer. The antidote. If you often think, am I crazy? Or, am I overreacting? It's probably not about you. Clarity is your right. Claim it. What these signs reveal is simple. The most dangerous narcissists aren't the loud ones. They're the quiet ones, the ones who subtly test, who mirror, who confuse, without ever raising their voice. When you recognize these signs, you don't lose yourself. You gain clarity, and clarity protects you. If you want to understand how narcissists manipulate your perception step by step, watch this next, the 5 stages of gaslighting. And if you want to recognize the exact phrases they use, watch 10 Things Narcissists Say. Subscribe for new videos every week. Calm, clear, and direct. You deserve clarity. You deserve peace. Clarity is the first step to freedom.